And I remember you said a while ago, we got to be careful because a lot of the narrative and a lot of the messaging that's out there is really putting men and women against each other. And how are we
Facts.
supposed to build family? How are you supposed to find your person? How are you supposed to build, that life that you want to build? I mean, you can be a 6 7 figure earning woman, but everybody wants somebody in that home with them to share these moments with.
At the end of the day, and I say this all the time, if you want to build the community and heal the community, you have to heal the family. If you want to heal the family, then you have to heal the individual, the man and the woman. And if you want to heal the individual, you have to actually do the work for self-development.
Have to do it.
You have to read the books. You have to hang around the friends that's going to tell you when you're right and when you're wrong. You have to want to be better than yesterday. There's no way that we're going to be able to come together and operate as a community as one. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Dog Talk Podcast. It's me, the one and only Big Charles. You heard me?
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Big Shay, and I'm back in the building, the first lady of the Big Dog Talk Podcast.
Hey, in the best mindset transformational podcast in the Bay Area. On this podcast, we challenge you to unlearn and relearn, to heal and build, and to tap into your own divine God energy inside of you. But wait,
Hold up.
before we get started,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to go to Apple Podcasts. I need you to go to anywhere that you listen to the Big Dog Talk Podcast, and I need you to leave 5 stars. If you like what we do for you, leave.
5 stars.
If you don't like what we do for you, I still need you to leave
5 stars.
You get the point, don't you? No, but listen, we need you guys to continue to leave reviews, leave comments, to like, share, and help us spread the word. This is a people building podcast, mentally, spiritually, financially, all across the board. We challenge you to be better than yesterday. Why won't you share this for us?
Share it. We appreciate you guys. But we also love the engagement. Like on the social media platforms, where can they find us, Big Charles?
Big Dog Talk _podcast.
On Instagram. I absolutely love the engagement, the feedback, and just, rocking with us on there. So keep doing that because that's super motivational and it definitely feels like a community.
All right.
Period.
Look, speaking of speaking of
What?
the Big Dog Talk podcast on Instagram, every like Thursday and Friday, I put up certain kind of posts that bring in engagement for the community.
Okay.
And it gives us it allows the community to go back and forth to give different perspectives.
Okay.
You follow me?
Copy.
So this week I posted something on where these two gentlemen, they were having a discussion in regards of what is a true man.
Okay.
And one gentleman, they were having a man-to-man conversation.
Okay.
One gentleman who was an entrepreneur, he provides everything for his family. He pays the bills, everything.
Mm-hmm.
His wife just has to stay home, cook, maintain the house, nurture the kids.
Okay.
I don't want to say they just stay home and cook, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's her job.
That's her job.
Yeah.
But the other gentleman, he makes $14 an hour.
Okay.
He's in a relationship.
Okay.
His wife cooks and cleans. So they were having a confrontation about who is a real man or what is a real man. And the entrepreneur said, you're not a real man if your woman is still working a full-time job. And the $14 an hour guy says, that's not true, brother. I'm making $14 an hour and I'm doing the best I can. You living in your house, living the dream. I'm over here struggling. How could you consider I'm not a real man and I'm out here doing my best to provide for my family?
Right.
So I want to talk about that
Hmm.
and your perspective on how would you feel? I don't even want to go there. What is your thought about the statement, I'm doing my best to take care of my family, although I make $14 an hour?
So for me, both of those gentlemen do have something to stand on, in my opinion. The brother that's saying that, he's making $14 an hour, he's a man. I'm really all about, people being productive. And shout out to him though, honestly, being able to say, I make $14 an hour. This is where I am as a man. This is how I'm contributing to my family. I didn't watch the interview and I didn't hear him say like he's comfortable with that,
Right.
right? Because he could say, I'm not taking a job paying me $14 an hour. So he could be a zero contributor in the household, right?
Mm,
So for me, shout out to him because he's being productive. One of my things about life is I'm all about productivity,
okay.
right? And so maybe he's making $14 an hour now, but we don't know what the scenario was before that. And he's contributing. He could be doing nothing. He could be too prideful to be like, I'm not taking a job paying me $14 an hour because I'm better than that. And then here's absolutely all the weight. I don't care if his $14 an hour puts groceries in the house for a week or two. It still contributes to the bottom line.
But look though, the entrepreneur
That's
says,
my initial thought.
okay, so we're gonna
Cool.
keep going back and forth.
Okay.
But the entrepreneur, his perspective is this. Um, you work a 9 to 5,
Right.
you making your wife or your partner work a 9 to 5. She come home to cook, she come home and clean,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The entrepreneur said basically your partner is a slave, meaning his woman was a slave because she has to work a 9 to 5, still have to take care of the kids, and still have to come home and cook and clean and do all of these other things.
So I don't really understand. I don't really understand that concept. Like
What do you mean?
he's saying that the man
You're
who
making her do too much.
so did he say that the word
Yeah,
slave?
he used the word. He basically you got to say because you got her doing too much. The woman is designed to nurture the home.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is a very loaded conversation.
Okay.
And I don't even think this conversation is for me and you to agree. I just feel like we can dissect it. You might have a stance on it though. But at the end of the day, from my perspective as a woman, I want to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help my man. Like I want to be able in this season to contribute to the bottom line in the big picture of our goals because I feel like 2 dream chasers is better than 1.
Mm. Mm. 2 dream chasers is better than 1.
I mean, that's just me. 2 dream chasers is better than 1.
I mean, this can go either kind of way because I do believe at a certain age, like if you're older than, let's just say 21, if you consider yourself a man,
Right.
I don't think you should be focusing on a relationship if you're making if you're not working or if you're making like 12 13 $14 an hour.
Right.
The reason I say that is because from my experience and from statistics, most relationships break up because of financial reasons,
Correct.
not because of lack of love.
Right.
So me personally, I wouldn't want to date someone if I was making $14 an hour. But I do understand as long as you have a vision as well.
Right. So I think that's where like I struggle with the $14 an hour because let's just say, you a cat, you 25 years old and you taking a job making $14 an hour because that's what you can land right now. But what if it's like an entry level to something that you
Right.
you really want to climb the ladder and you really want to grow in a specific industry? Again, my thing is that you're being productive. And if there's a woman out there that's willing to deal with the man that's making the $14 an hour for right now, shout out to her too, because you could be quantifying a very solid relationship based off of how much money a man makes when he could really be trash. But the man that's making $14 an hour could really be a diamond in the rough and needs somebody to help him build, needs somebody to help him think, needs somebody to help him, expand his portfolio and go from making $14 an hour to $14,000 a month.
Ooh.
Like we just got to give perspective today.
I mean, what I like is the word productive that you're using.
Big.
The word productive,
Big.
a partner that's producing something.
Yes.
And if you're producing something, that means you're going to always producing, and it's going to
Big.
eventually continue to grow and evolve.
Thank you.
Now, if it was a mindset of like I just want to stay here, a comfortable mindset, now we have an issue.
We got a big problem.
You know, but you got to start somewhere though.
Yeah. Let's make it let me be like super crystal clear, right? $14 an hour with a productive person that has goals and trying to get somewhere is different from a person making $14. And this is for me and mine. Different from a person that's making $14 an hour and they're very complacent. I'm cool with that. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm just, we good. We can go ahead and get this, McDonald's or whatever. We just good. Like, that's not even like a goal-driven human being.
Right.
And then that level of productivity is going to be low with that mindset.
Right.
So it really, to me, it's based off of mindset.
But I also understand the perspective of the entrepreneur as well.
Absolutely.
Because as a man,
right,
it is a goal and a desire to be able to take care of the entire household himself.
Right.
At least it should be. I mean, it just does something to the ego. It does something like to our mindset. It does something to the confidence. But unfortunately, it's not always like that. It's especially in our community where we were brought into this space with lack thereof.
Right.
But
Big Charles, what if that's not someone's end goal?
What's not someone's end goal?
As an entrepreneur, as a man, maybe it's not their end goal to like have their wife or significant other be able to like stay home and be a homemaker.
Well, I didn't say be able to stay home and be a homemaker. I didn't say that. I just said provide to take that level of stress off of their woman.
Okay, gotcha.
Because at the end of the day, the less stressed the woman is, actually the better the household is.
This is true.
The more you get to nurture the kids, the more you get to operate in your feminine energy, the more
Absolutely.
the better the food is going to taste because you're not stressed.
Yeah.
So it is.
The more attention the man get.
Yeah. That's true.
No lies told.
No lies told.
Nah, that's true.
But you do have to start somewhere, though.
Right.
Now, I could see if we were handed something and generational wealth was handed down to us.
Right.
Where we both have the choice to do what we want to do.
Right.
But in today's time, everybody got to work.
The majority.
Until you get to the goal.
Right.
Everybody got to work. Everybody got to grind. That man, that woman, you both got to be able to put your back against each other and go to war.
Right. And I'm just going to go ahead and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did see a little bit of the clip. And to the man that was speaking about making $14 an hour, he was a person that was very opinionated to me.
Yeah.
Like a strong individual. He had a stance on what he was saying and he was sticking with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make an assumption that he seems like somebody that's just not okay with making, $14 an hour, but that's just what it is right now.
Yeah. So a few times I felt because of the entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
He's in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the message was being delivered in a way. The entrepreneur intentions was really good.
Okay.
But because of they're both in two different spaces, that also can make a man feel a certain kind of way.
Absolutely.
Because if a man tell me I'm not being a true man to my family and to my wife because I'm working a 9 to 5, we got an issue with that, especially when I'm doing my best.
That part.
Especially when I'm doing my best to contribute in every area of the house.
Like, I think in a conversation like that, both ends of the spectrum can be really respected. But then you talking about an entrepreneur, like you said, that can provide everything, and a man over here that's productive, but definitely not making the money that he wants to make to take care of his family. It's like, that's like apples and oranges conversation right there, because they're too far.
But see,
at
here's
two
the
ends
thing.
of the spectrum.
Here's the thing, though. I used to follow the guy on Instagram that's the entrepreneur.
Okay.
And he always wasn't there.
Oh.
So you also can see a little confidence and arrogance as well. Now he's at a comfortable place to take care of his family.
Yeah, but that's what we do.
He was flexing a little bit.
That's what we do.
Talking smooth, and I'm not knocking him because, listen, shout out to being able to take care of your family.
Right. Right.
To any man that's doing that. But
right.
I felt like he forgot where he came from.
I mean,
although the message was good,
mm-hmm.
And I also believe that the gentleman that was receiving the message, he felt some kind of way because he thought that the entrepreneur was trying to belittle him, and he wasn't.
Right.
So it was a mixed energy of like ego
right.
and defensiveness. and sincerity
Right.
that was stopping the message from being delivered and communicated.
I could see that on both ends of the stick though, because I think about myself as an entrepreneur. I'm always trying to get people to be an entrepreneur, right? I'm always like, everybody should be an entrepreneur. Why? X, Y, and Z. There's freedom. There's no cap. There's no ceiling. Blah, blah, blah. You get to do this. You get to make this. But at the end of the day, I have to realize that entrepreneurship is not for everybody, right? So that's to the brother that's the entrepreneur. And then on the other hand, you're talking about the guy who makes $14 an hour. There's going to be a level of defensiveness to that because obviously we all know that $14 an hour, you can barely do anything with that. So it's a very sensitive conversation for him. So any little thing that's said by the entrepreneur can definitely make him get on the defense because he's already probably not like basking in a whole lot of confidence as a man.
Well, I want to make this clear though when we're talking about $14 an hour, because it's a lot that you can do with $14 an hour when you have discipline. You understand me? I got to go back to when
and
I
a
was
partner.
And I got to go back to when I was like 24 years old. I was making $16, $17, $18 an hour at Bank of America, making $36,000 a year. I bought my first home making $15, $16 an hour. So you're not going to tell me, you know what I mean, $14 an hour is not going to work. One thing I did have was I had discipline.
Yes, you did.
I was desperately saving for something. I had a bigger goal, a bigger picture. So shout out to the brothers out there that's making $14 an hour, but you have a productive mindset.
Right.
You have a vision for yourself. You notice I'm starting right here, but I'm not going to end it right here.
Right. But we could even take that a little step further because when I met you, that's exactly what you were doing. That's the job you had. That's how much money you were making.
Right.
And you still treated me once we transitioned into, a full-on monogamous relationship, you treated me like I had never, ever been treated in a relationship.
Right.
Making $16, $17 an hour back then.
And you were making about 3 times more than me at the time.
3 times more than you at the time. You came in, you brought your masculine energy with you. You helped me straighten up some things in my life. You helped me. You inserted yourself with our daughter. We went on dates. You know what I mean? We did fun things with that salary that you were making. And it's like, look at us now. So it brings me right back to my point that I was making in the beginning. We got to be careful, ladies, because you could be chasing the man that is making, the 7-figure income and he could treat you like trash. You know what I mean?
I just hate that we connect our self-worth to our network. I hate that. I hate people believing that we are so big and bad just because we make a certain amount of money. I can't deal with this person because I make a certain amount of money. Reason being because this person probably can provide you with money, but they can't provide you with trust, with security, with safetyness. They can provide you with material things, but they can't give you what your spirit needs. So it's more than just I can provide with money. I hate the fact that we believe that our self-worth is connected to our net worth.
Right.
Why? Because a man's Big Charles, you said I came in making 16, 17. I was making like $36,000 a year.
Right.
One thing I had on me, I had confidence. One thing I also had on me, and I knew that my worth came from internal work.
Yep.
I had a wisdom that you never understood or seen before.
Yep.
I had a discipline that you never seen before. I knew what I brought to the table, and I knew I was headed somewhere.
Yeah, but like you just said, we met each other on what our spirit and what our souls needed at the time. Because like you said, okay, I was making more money than that, but I still was lacking a lot as it relates to a real relationship that can water my soul and water my spirit. And that's what you came in and did. And by watering my soul and watering my spirits, we were able to connect and create a foundation that helped to better our lives together.
That's because a lot of us out there chasing the bag, but we lack in the wrong bag. We lack in principles. We lack in integrity. We lacking how to carry ourselves as a man or as a woman. Like, who taught the woman how to be a wife? Who taught the man how to be a husband? Who taught the man how to provide? Who taught the woman how to talk to a man? We chasing the bag, but we chasing the wrong bag. We need to chase the self-development bag, the self-work bag.
I mean, you talking heavy.
It's a lot of grown, miserable people out here.
Yep.
That's playing happy because they got the bag.
Yep. or playing happy. Yeah, because they have the bag and they identify with their careers, their financial status, their cars, the things that they own, but behind closed doors and internally they're very miserable. And that's so sad to me.
Right. Who are you if God stripped away your degree? Who
Hmm.
are you if God stripped away your money from you? Who are you if you lost your job? Who are you if you didn't have that car? Who are you then? Will you still have that same confidence? Because I tell you what, I remember when I lost everything in Hurricane Katrina, I still had that big dog sauce because it's in me and not on me.
Yep.
It's in me. You can't take this
Yep.
from me.
Yep.
Even with you, it was in you when I met
Yeah, I
you.
was just thinking that. I think we talk about this quite often. Like when we first started dating, there were like I just said, there were things beyond the external or the material that attracted us to each other. And that's still individual sauce and energy, that main character energy that we both had separately. We bring that together now, and that's really what makes it work.
Right.
And we still aren't those people that are chasing after
The bag.
financial status. I don't care what people think I have or what they think I have or don't have. Like I really don't care what people think about me at all, because my goals and my things that I want to accomplish in life are not quantified by what somebody else thinks about me.
We chase it. We chase purpose over here.
We chase purpose.
We are purpose driven over here.
Listen, when passion meets purpose, baby,
We go full
throttle.
full throttle off of purpose, off of passion, and where God is leading us, where God is taking us. Shout out to that brother that's making $14. Shout out to everybody that's being productive, that want more.
Yes, it's a
Shout out-
productive mindset.
Listen, what I realize is this. We have a bunch of grown, hurt kids, immature adults, immature kids that think money is the only thing that's going to save us.
Yep.
Money. Meanwhile, we have grown kids, grown men that don't know how to balance a paycheck. We have grown women, grown little girls that don't know how to talk to their father because their dad wasn't in the home. And you only know how to talk aggressively is because you saw your mother in survival mode and how she spoke to a man. I'm going heavy. I'm going in.
Yep.
We have a bunch of grown, hurt kids bleeding on each other, and we don't know how to mesh with one another.
Right.
When we need to take a sit back and say, you know what? I need to do some internal work.
Yep.
I need to go read some books on self-development, how to carry myself, how to treat one another. If your motive and your power only comes from money, then baby girl, baby boy, you are chasing, you are confused.
And that brings me to this other trend, that's going on social media, talking about where you shouldn't have a first date.
Oh yeah.
It just really it really all just ties in together.
Yeah, that was so you want to tell the story?
You can tell the story because I'll be in and out, so you can tell the story.
So again, back on the Big Dog Talk IG community, we make posts that's confrontational and conversational.
Yep.
And this young lady went on a date with this young man, and he took her to the Cheesecake Factory. But prior to that, he had a better date saved up for her.
Oh yeah, he had reserved a better date. That's right. Right, but they was late.
She was late.
She was late.
So he told her, listen, make sure that you be on time.
Right.
Because I have a date planned for us.
Right.
So she was like an hour late, which caused them to miss the reservation. So he said, you know what? Although she was an hour late, I'm still going to be respectable, and I'm going to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. This woman called herself, when she got to the Cheesecake Factory, to go live. She wanted to go live and wanted to get all her girls, the home girls, to gang up on this guy, to bash this man, because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory because she felt like she was too pretty for the Cheesecake Factory.
She's too good for the
She's
Cheesecake
too good
Factory.
for the Cheesecake. Look, you see my body? You see how I look? I look too good for the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
So that wound up going viral.
Of course.
And now we're here. So talk about it now.
So first of all, shout out to the guy in that situation, right?
Right.
I did see a little clip and he really handled that very, very well. But She was a red flag at the gate, if we want to talk about red flags. Because if you have someone that's communicating to you, I have these reservations for us at this restaurant. We need to be on time. Please be on time. And then you take it upon yourself to show up an hour late, just off the rip.
Very
Very
disrespectful.
disrespectful. And you don't even deserve the Cheesecake Factory. You don't deserve anything. You deserve a text message that since you're not ready, we couldn't make the reservations. Maybe we could try again another time.
If it was the younger me,
Seriously.
if it was the younger me, she wouldn't have been on no date.
She wouldn't, that's what I'm saying. She wouldn't have even been showing up at the Cheesecake Factory because that would have been it for a minute.
But here's the thing, though. She went live and got a bunch of women to go on live with her, and all of the women were like ganging up on the guy, and the guy was like, "Are you recording me? Oh, oh, we can have this conversation if you want to, and if you want to go live and have this conversation in front of your friends,
Right.
That's okay."
Right.
But what made it so good and juicy is because she was looking for validation
Right.
from her girls.
Right.
And here you go. You had an emotional, intelligent communicator that knew how to deliver his message in a great way. And I believe that she was caught off guard because she wasn't ready for a guy that was that intelligent.
Because if I can recall, he said, "I'm going to take you home." And she was like, "What? You're going to take me home?"
All of a sudden, she wanted to backtrack and eat Cheesecake Factory.
You're going home.
You're going home.
I'm taking you home.
Because you disrespected me.
And you're a red flag.
Red flag.
And I don't want to break bread with you.
Then she went to backtrack and like, you know what? I am sorry. Although I was late, baby girl, it's too late. But what I don't like is it's a lot of grown, immature kids.
Yeah, but see, ladies, we got to be careful with this narrative that social media is putting out there. And this is exactly the narrative that I'm talking about, where a woman gets to get on social media and bash a man for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory. When in my opinion, as a wife and been dating the same person for almost 16 years, I don't see nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. If me and you want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, then that's where we're going to go, is to the Cheesecake Factory, because our relationship and the depth of what we're building is not always based off of where we go eat at. We can cook at home and still have rich conversations and still build a connection to see if we are a good match for things that we both have planned in our life.
I mean, I get it that sometimes you want to go to swanky places.
Understandable.
We gotta dial out. We gotta dial back.
Yeah, and ladies, we just cannot allow moments like this on social media.
He was a good man too.
To allow us to tap into that negative energy, because you got to call a spade a spade. If she's showing up late for a date that he had planned, she's the problem, not him. Why are we making it seem like he's the problem? Because he also had a plan B. So he's also a problem solver and a thinker. And she didn't like that because she thought that she was better than the Cheesecake Factory. She's the problem. If I was him, I wouldn't want to date her either.
You know what was sad though? She never not once was like, "I'm sorry. I apologize." She waited. If he wasn't able to communicate himself in such an intelligent way, she would have never even gotten the picture.
That's true. That could have went bad.
Good thing he had some patience to communicate, because
most
men don't even have the patience.
They'd have cussed her behind
what? But the thing is,
so that lets me know that even with her, don't get me wrong, like she was expecting for him to even pay for the bill and everything. Yes. She had no intentions on going in there and being a contributing person to this date. You don't got to pay the way it's set up in society, men are supposed to, pay for the bill. But that just lets me know that she's not even a team player. I'll just say it like that.
It was sad because they really had women on there.
That's the sad part.
Who were certified therapists.
That's sad.
Coaches. Who was,
girl, you right. Ain't nobody taking me to no Cheesecake Factory.
No, and guess
what? They somewhere sitting single too. Somewhere sitting single too. You go ahead and follow those trends, and those things happen on social media, and you trying to find you a man and you allowing that to be your example. Sis, I'm so sorry. I'm on my main character energy. You're going to be an epic fail as well. That's not the status. That's not the example. And that's not how you find the person that you want to build life with.
Wait.
And I said what I said.
Wait, you just took over.
I'm sorry about that. But seriously, that's not the bar. That is not the bar.
Oh,
But social media is making that the bar. Why can't he take you to a coffee shop? Maybe you could just go get coffee and talk and see if somebody is, matching energies, goals, good conversation, and willing to go on a second date.
We got to grow up.
We
though.
have to grow up. That is so childish.
We don't even realize that that these influencers and social media are using our vulnerability and our vulnerable areas that we can't see.
Yep.
To monetize off of us.
Yep.
You get these single influencers are pretending to act like they're single just to go after the community that's single. Because they know if I get these emotions riled up, I can get them to buy this and buy that and support this. And it's messing up the narrative.
Yeah. And I remember you said a while ago, we got to be careful because a lot of the narrative and a lot of the messaging that's out there is really putting men and women against each other. And how are we supposed to build family? How are you supposed to find your person? How are you supposed to build, that life that you want to build? I mean, you can be a 6-7 figure earning woman, but everybody wants somebody in that home with them to share these moments with.
At the end of the day, and I say this all the time, if you want to build the community and heal the community, you have to heal the family. If you want to heal the family, then you have to heal the individual, the man and the woman. And if you want to heal the individual, you have to actually do the work for self-development.
Have to do it.
You have to read the books. You have to hang around the friends that's going to tell you when you're right and when you're wrong. You have to want to be better than yesterday. There's no way that we're going to be able to come together and operate as a community, as one, if we continue to point fingers at one another. If we continue to feel like I'm better than this person because I'm making more than that person. It's just, we have a bunch of grown, hurt kids walking around bleeding on other people.
Right.
And it's keeping us separated.
Right.
And we're falling into the narrative every single time.
Yep. That goes for intimate relationship. That goes for friendships. That goes for family ships. That goes for relationships in general. I just wanted to make that clear.
Big shade. You was on your main character energy.
Listen.
We gonna pray. Dear God,
touch Big Shay.
Touch Big Shay and calm her down. She threw me off. I wasn't expecting that.
Listen.
But she said what she said, and she's standing on business.
I'm standing on it.
Amen.
And we're done.
Until next time.
Thank you guys for watching.
They're not even gonna watch no more. Shut up.